There is now a new angle, like Tahina Paopao threw herself out of the play after hacking Caitlin Clark. She hacked Caitlin Clark, overcommitted, and threw herself out of play.
To me, I'm blaming this whole thing on the WNBA referees. They have to be held accountable in situations like this.
If you thought the WNBA officiating couldn't possibly get worse, buckle up, because the drama just hit a whole new level. New footage of fouls against Caitlin has surfaced, and it's not just ugly, it's assault with extra steps. And in the middle of it all, the face of the franchise, Caitlin freaking Clark.
It's gotta be annoying, frustrating, irritating, infuriating even. And how is it that officials are looking right at a play, which we're gonna...
So what happened exactly? Let's start from the beginning, shall we? It was during a match between the Fever and the Dream. Clark, as usual, was slicing through defenses and pulling defenders with her like she's got a gravitational field. But then, it happened.
Right here, this is a lot of chaos and a lot of bodies hit the floor. And you can see Caitlin Clark go down, thought she had the foul.
With just over 3 minutes left in the third quarter, Caitlin Clark executed a clean spin off guard Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, a move so smooth it probably made Allen Iverson shed a tear in his sleep. She exploded toward the rim, ready to add another highlight to her already ridiculous rookie reel. But instead of getting a chance to finish, she got violently clobbered in the paint by Ryan Howard, who body checked her so hard it looked like a crossover episode with the NHL.
Just like other sports, the referees are held accountable. I don't know what it is about these WNBA referees that is making it so damn hard for them to make the right calls at the right moments. Yes, bro. Like, what is it with these referees?
After seeing such a foul, even a hater could blow the whistle. But the response from the refs? Crickets. Not a whistle, not a hand wave, not even a fake "I missed it" glance. Just stone cold silence while Caitlin Clark crumbled to the floor in a heap, literally curled up in pain, staring at the nearby official like, "Are you serious right now?" And it didn't stop there. Another clip emerged from a different offender. This time it was Tahina Paopao, who literally checked Caitlin with both hands like she was auditioning for WWE. The kind of shove that would earn you a flagrant 2 in the NBA or an ejection in college ball. But again, no whistle, no call, just another opportunity for Clark to pick herself up while the officials stared into the abyss.
And Caitlin Clark, her arm is like being grabbed by Tina Paopao and she does take it off. Could there have been contact? Sure. But I've never, like, this is some of the worst refereeing I've ever seen to not call a defensive foul here. Some of the worst refereeing I have seen in my lifetime. Like, this is one of the worst missed calls I think I've ever seen in basketball. Like, this is not just a hand check. This is a double jersey grab.
And for the haters who say, well, that's just physical basketball, let me ask you this. If that exact same hit had been on Breanna Stewart or Diana Taurasi, would the refs still keep the whistle in their pocket? Absolutely not. There would be a siren, a timeout, and probably a lengthy review at the scorer's table while Twitter melted down. In fact, that's exactly what happened when it was Breanna Stewart instead of Caitlin Clark.
Breanna Stewart is fouled.
Did you see that? Her opponent used both hands to check Breanna Stewart, and the referee was blowing the whistle like their life depended on it. Now, if it's Clark instead of Breanna or Asia, then it's a completely different story.
You work extremely hard in the offseason, and not only that, your first WNBA team, your rookie of the year, you were the first pick in the draft, you broke 62 records, and you can't get a whistle. People are grabbing on you. In 2 games, you can't get a whistle. And it's not like you're just standing there doing nothing. You're being physical.
It almost looks like Clark's being punished for her success. The league can't stop marketing her face, but they sure don't mind watching it get slammed into the hard wood. And fans, they're furious. Outrage is boiling over faster than a pot of instant ramen. Even the casuals are waking up and going, wait, it's like, is the league letting people just body slam Caitlin Clark with no repercussions?
One more time. See that? See that? You see how Caitlin Clark had to back? She had to do the step back. She had to step back because she knew she didn't have any area here. See, this is the photo that went viral. This scene right here. I'm so glad. Shout out to Gabrielle. I hope I say that right for having this clip right here. Because if you pay attention, right, you see this? See, she's bear hugging. She's all over Caitlyn. My goodness. Look. My goodness, right here.
Because here's the real scandal. This isn't an isolated incident. This is a pattern, a theme, a disturbing trend of Clark being blatantly fouled, assaulted, shoved, hacked, and bodied, and the refs doing their best impersonation of statues. And now, with this new footage going viral, referees are in full panic mode.
It says new year. Caitlin Clark still getting assaulted with no foul calls. Okay, bro, y'all got it. What happened to the announcer saying Caitlin Clark was fouled, like Breonna Stewart was fouled, so she gets drives to the basket. It's hit, it's bodied, hits the floor, and again, no foul. And you know that because, like I said, in 2 preseason games she has played, she has not gone to the free throw line once.
Sources say league officials have already begun reviewing the tape internally. You know it's bad when the WNBA refs themselves are sweating bullets in the locker room, praying their names aren't trending on Twitter. But here's the thing, this issue isn't new. We all saw how Caitlyn was subjected to countless fouls and physical assaults last year. And now, the same pattern is being repeated again.
Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA, the W. She needs to get her hound dogs in freaking check. She need to put them back on the leash. This is outrageous, man.
Throughout last season, Caitlin Clark was treated by WNBA refs like she had owed them money and stolen their lunchboxes at the same time. No fouls calls, no whistles, and no warnings whatsoever. It was utter chaos.
But I'm talking about egregious errors in officiating. I'm talking about inconsistency in officiating. That has to stop. I'm talking about fouls that should absolutely be called like 2, 3, 4 times because they're so bad.
It's not just the players anymore. The officiating is now in the crosshairs, and that's never a good thing. Caitlin Clark is taking legitimate hits, getting no protection, and being forced to fight through more contact than a football wide receiver in tight man coverage.
And the refs should also be aware that the most eyeballs at any given moment are going to be on Caitlin Clark. So call it a special whistle, call it whatever you need it to be. If you don't want to have constant viral videos of other WNBA players fouling Caitlin and the internet being in an uproar, saying that players are doing this on purpose.
Nobody has ever been officiated or defended like this. Caitlin Clark was out here getting double teamed at the water cooler and guarded 94 feet from the basket, even when she didn't have the ball. Meanwhile, the refs were pretending like they forgot how whistles work.
And that girl, Kennedy Carter, pushed her in the back like that. It was a cheap shot. It was not a basketball play. She should have been ejected, number one. Number two, there should have been a fine that was incurred thereafter.
The crowd is fed up with the officiating. Fans in Indiana are booing the refs louder than the opposing teams. People on Twitter had become full-on crime scene investigators, zooming in on her fouls like they were solving a murder. It almost looked like Caitlin was playing dodgeball and not basketball.
Not calling some of these fouls and not cracking down on some of these cheap shots and hard fouls that are so excessive, not only against Caitlin Clark, but against other players as well. You see compilations of them online. Not cracking down on these are going to turn people off to watching the WNBA, and it's not going to allow the league to grow and people to be more
Now let's talk about the flagrant fouls, because the WNBA was running a Caitlin foul special, and the refs were the first ones at the buffet. Clark was getting elbowed, shoved, and tackled at the same time. But what did the refs do? They were eating protein bars, while Clark was literally fighting for her life. Remember when Kennedy Carter shoved Clark on the ground? It was the most reckless foul ever committed in the history of the WNBA. It was disrespectful, venomous, and full of hatred. After watching such a foul, the officials would surely take strict action against Carter, right? Right?
Her antics have distracted many from her excellent play. When she saw that she was ranked 24th, way below.
It didn't take a genius to figure out that Carter would be getting off easily, and that's exactly what happened. No real action was taken against the assailant, and the fans couldn't believe it.
And yet, since she's joined the league as a rookie, she's been abused. She's been abused over and
Now, this isn't about Clark being soft. This is about consistency. If Clark sneezes near a defender, she's getting whistled for a technical. But if someone drop kicks her across half court, play on. She could get full-on body slammed like it's WrestleMania, and the refs would casually ignore the foul like it never really happened.
But after a series of events where we've watched all season long and into the postseason, Caitlin Clark get abused and taken out. I mean, even during timeouts, people are intentionally walking into her, bumping into her, doing things mid-play and after the play.
No rookie in the past 27 years has been face guarded 35 feet from the basket while she's standing in the opposite corner of the court. That's not defense, that's stalking. Caitlin could be ordering a hot dog from the concession stand and still have a defender breathing on her neck while the refs sip Gatorade and discuss dinner plans.
Tonight, and I am absolutely freaking agitated. I'm sick and tired of the goddamn disrespect that is given towards Caitlin Clark by the freaking WNBA and their shit turd freaking media members.
Here's what people don't realize. Caitlin Clark is the best thing to happen to this league in years. She's bringing in fans, she's generating buzz, she's moving merchandise like she's Taylor Swift with a jump shot. And yet, the league can't even be bothered to give her basic protection. It's baffling.
Fouls, but when you have the face of your league getting nearly 20% of all flagrant fouls called against her, that is an issue. And that's not just an issue that the players have to work out. That is from top down. That goes to the commissioner level. Like, that is the level that needs to control these kinds of.
You would think protecting the most visible and the most marketable rookie would be a priority for the WNBA, but sadly, that's not the case at all. On the contrary, Caitlin was getting targeted like there was a bullseye painted on her back. She was getting almost 20% of all the fouls called in the entire league, and that's saying something.
So that said, Caitlin Clark received 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season, and 80% of those flagrant fouls were committed by the Chicago Sky against Caitlin Clark.
Can you believe it? Nearly 20% of all the fouls committed last season were against Caitlin Clark. I mean, this is mind-boggling to say the least. It does not look like a coincidence at all, and shows you that the WNBA only considered Caitlin Clark a punching bag for the league.
With this incident, it got me thinking about how the WNBA loves to brag about the fact that they are a very physical league, and that's what a lot of players and coaches said about Caitlin Clark and about the rookie class coming into the league, is that that was going to be something that they would need to adjust to. They would need to adjust to the physicality of this league. It's very physical, and you're not going to get the same kind of looks that you did in college. Like, the list goes on. These WNBA players, GMs, coaches, all of the above like to take pride in the fact that the league is.
That's right. The amount of abuse Caitlin Clark had received last season was ridiculous. And the worst part, the WNBA officials and veterans took pride in being part of a very physical league. But last I checked, WNBA isn't WWE. So maybe these people should stop taking pride in bullying others and choke slamming their greatest asset.
Very physical. The question I'm going to pose here today is, why is that something that you're proud of? I honestly think that the physicality in the WNBA is going to hurt it in the long run. You can take a reference from the NBA. A lot of NBA fans will say that the NBA is soft now. You can't get away with anything. And you know what? That's so true, because Adam Silver has gone out of his way to protect his players and also make the game a lot.
What's even more embarrassing is that the league's top brass keep on acting like they don't see it, as if this rookie isn't the literal reason why their ticket sales, jersey purchases, and television ratings have hit historic highs. Caitlin Clark is the reason 14-year-olds are arguing about pick-and-roll defense on TikTok, and the league's response? They are giving her the cold shoulder every time she gets fouled.
Because at the end of the day, it's not just the sport, it's the entertainment of the sport, and you need to protect your superstars. And the WNBA has not done well this entire season of protecting their one superstar who brought in more eyeballs than anyone else has ever done in the league.
Remember when Dejounte Carrington assaulted Caitlin Clark with vicious fingernails? It was a brutal foul, and yet it wasn't called properly. Many people were smashing their heads thinking about the refs when Dejounte fouled Clark because it was that much serious.
Intentional. It's in slow motion, as you can see here. Dejounte is going up for the ball, she misses, and then her hand bends down like this and goes straight into Caitlin's eye. Many people are calling for the WNBA to review this. Many people are
But what happened? Nothing. Nada. The only noise coming from the referees was the constant sound of crickets. The WNBA had done such a lousy job of officiating that people were walking out of the stadium in protest of Clark's deliberate targeting.
People are also saying that the WNBA needs to overhaul the referees, that they have just been absolutely awful this season. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I do think that this was a basketball play, but I think it was a careless basketball.
Let's be real. This isn't just about protecting Caitlin Clark. It's about protecting the future of the league. People are worried that if the WNBA keeps allowing these reckless plays, they'll lose all the fans it has acquired after Clark's arrival on the scene. And honestly, they are not entirely wrong.
No one should be surprised when Caitlin gets frustrated and she has something to say to the officials, which is apparently what happened when she got a technical.
And now, with this footage out in the wild, the league can't hide behind ignorance. The evidence is out there. It's been slowed down, zoomed in, analyzed frame by frame. The elbow, the shove, the full-on body collisions, all of it. And Caitlin Clark, she'll keep playing, she'll keep performing, she'll keep carrying this league on her back like she's done since day one. But it's time for the officials to do their job before the league loses the only player keeping it on national radar, because this isn't just bad officiating anymore. It's a crisis, and the whole world is watching. So what do you think? Are the referees and officials biased towards Caitlin Clark? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.